So I was telling the story with Gottlieb. Geez, I'm driving around this weekend, and I'm turning to these inferior radio products. And they're all like Warriors sweep. Maybe I give Cleveland one. And I'm like, I don't really see it like that. Like, put it up on the board, Sam. If we had the top 8 players and you could draft them for this series in order right now, you start looking at it, we'd all take LeBron 1, and it would be won by a significant margin.
Yep.
Like, we don't know how Steph's going to play if it's physical. We don't know about Durant in the clutch. But if you go to your top 8 guys, Cleveland, Golden State, Cleveland, Golden State, Cleveland, that's the order in which I would do it. This feels like a 7-game series to me. And I think Cleveland's got a better bench.
I would probably take Clay over Love, but that's, depends on your taste.
Well, I did that because
rebounder, obviously.
Well, and I thought Clay's a little bit out of sorts right now.
He's been struggling lately, and he's streaky.
And so my takeaway is he's in a bad streak, but I would, you're probably right. But I guess I could say this also. Cleveland bench advantage. Golden State's now got a coach that's hurt. That's at least chaotic. Kevin Love's playing the best he's ever played, and the pressure's also on Golden State. A lot of the intangibles favor Cleveland.
It'd be great to see a 7-game series, and I think you're right. When you look at mental advantage, you probably give it to Cleveland just because they've beaten Golden State 4 of the last 5 games, right? 3 straight in the finals, once, and then they split this year. So you might give them the mental advantage. They've played Golden State better than any other team in the league the last 3 years. Bench, I think Golden State's bench is underrated. I think now with whether it's JaVale or Zaza, David West, Sean Livingston, Andre Iguodala, and then the young guys, Ian Clark and Pat McCaw, I actually think their bench, I would probably give their bench a slight advantage.
All right.
But it's close.
Well, it's
close.
Ian Clark's been a nice player for them.
Yeah, and now they are very much a finesse team. I mean, West, but he's older, he's physical. Zaza is kind of
this is the skinny jeans
dirty.
All-Star team.
Yeah,
it is.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
It's Burb City in San Francisco.
Exactly. And Cleveland can get physical with them. That's what they've done the last few years in the finals. So I think that's an advantage they have that you might call an intangible. And they've got the best player, period. I do think with LeBron playing at the level he is and then Kyrie, I give Cleveland a great chance. It'd be great to see 7. I feel like I want to say Warriors in 6, but I do that with hesitation just because, again, last year LeBron and Kyrie were so great that they lifted Cleveland over what I think was a better team. And I think they could do the same thing this year.
Okay, you're sourcing. What are they saying about Steve Kerr here?
Well, at one point the Warriors felt like they wanted some closure. Whether he's going to coach or not, because they didn't want to bring him in, you know what I mean, have this in and out thing. But also, they didn't want to bring him in to coach a game or 2, and then he'd have to stop. So that's kind of the problem. But I do feel like, and I think the Warriors feel like, if he, say, can coach game 3 and gets on the bench for game 3, they don't feel like that's disruptive because he's there so much. He's at practices, he's at games, he's talking to the teams, he's helping with the game plans. So just like it wasn't disruptive when Mike Brown took over in the middle of a series and they just kept rolling, I don't think it'll be disruptive. I think this is an aberration. I think in most cases it would be, but with this veteran group, I think they'll be fine if he's just, comes in the middle of the series.
We're always fearful of super teams, but they generally don't, at least in the modern way they're structured, last forever. KG comes in with Pearson Ray, a lot of wear on those tires. Bosch starts having physical issues. Yeah. Wade was older. Generally, super teams, for physical reasons, don't last long. Now, KD and Steph have had injuries, but I go back to this. The Clay thing, I still don't feel it's sorted out right.
As far as him, maybe leaving?
Durant was just more of what they already did. And Steph and KD are the 2 shooters on this team. Clay's not playing particularly well. Let's say Golden State lost. Let's just pretend.
Okay.
We know if Cleveland loses, LeBron's probably going to get rid of one. He's not getting rid of Tristan or Kyrie. He may make some moves. let's say Golden State loses. Can you see a point where the ownership and management of Golden State says, fellas, if we can't win with this, we got too much shooting, not enough chemistry. Do you think there's potential, Chris? If the Warriors don't win, they make moves.
If they lose, there's certainly that potential. Now, they could say, let's bring it back for another year. We didn't have, KD got hurt. We didn't have time to bring it together. In most cases, super teams take a year to get it going. So there's a possibility of that. But if you're Golden State and you're looking at 4 max salaries, which is what they would be. Draymond, Clay already max.
It doesn't work.
Steph and Durant, you better be winning championships if you're paying out 4 max salaries.
Now, when do they get to 4 max salaries? After this year?
This year. Yeah.
Okay, that's not.
Because does KD take a little bit of a haircut? I don't know. But if KD and Steph get their max, then yeah, they're all
I think
max.
if Golden State loses.
Or close enough. Draymond is close enough to the max.
If Golden State loses, I would not be shocked. Klay Thompson, couple years left. He may not ask for a trade, but he'll ask for a trade. The Klay Thompson situation is odd to me.
But everybody says, and I don't know Klay that well.
I know his dad well. Nice guy.
Yeah, his dad's great. And his dad can get more disgruntled with the situation than Klay. So Klay is so mellow. And, there were people in Golden State that told me if he didn't make the All-Star team, and I thought it would have been a shame. I was like, man, it'll be a shame if Klay doesn't make the All-Star team. There were people up there that said, man, he'll be fine to just get away, go on vacation, and relax. All Klay wants to do is ball and be left alone. That's what they say. So there are people that tell you the spotlight, getting his just due, if you will, is not that important to him. This is the thing Klay Thompson will have to think about. If he stays in Golden State and they keep going to the finals or close or winning championships, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. If he goes elsewhere and maybe scores more points, he could end up being like Harrison Barnes. Who's thinking about Harrison now? He's averaging 20. In Dallas, he played well, but he's off the map. He's off the radar. So I think Klay's in a great situation, and he needs to think about that before he think about moving.
All your NBA contacts, who are they pulling for in the finals?
I'd say it's kind of, I don't know if I can say split, but I say more Cleveland that I've talked to.
So your people like Cleveland.
You
want
see,
Cleveland.
I think it's been a little bit of a switch. And I'm not saying there aren't people that want Golden State, because there are. But LeBron, there's always been people that kind of sometimes pulled against him. But now more people are coming over to his side because the feeling about Golden State is it wasn't organic. Before it was, but now you get KD going to this what was already a great team, and that just still rubs some people the wrong way. And so there are people that, are more on LeBron. At least the ones I've talked to are more on LeBron, but there's some in both camps.